Kelvin Celsius, brought to another world by a god's mistake, is reincarnated by the goddess of reincarnation and loses his memories, but gains many skills as part of the deal. In this new world, he receives a message from the goddess detailing his situation, world, and stats and follows the menu's advice to register as an adventurer in a nearby town where he embarrassingly learns he had tamed a goddess in his previous life. Upon reaching Parth, he shares how he persuaded Melfina to become his companion and sacrificed his past life memories in exchange for extra skill points but can't summon her due to inadequate MP. He registers at the guild and gets his first quest, hunting blue slimes. Although his initial effort to defeat the slimes fails, he eventually forms a contract with one named Clotho to defeat the rest and uses an ability to communicate with it. He stays at the Spirit Song Inn and goes on a monster hunting spree with Clotho the next day. At the Adventurers Guild, Kelvin is surprised to learn he has been promoted to E rank but is wary of taking on higher ranked missions alone, since he's been hiding his true identity as a summoner to avoid drawing attention, and Ange advises him to upgrade his equipment before aiming for a D rank, so he heeds this and requests a D rank quest before an adventurer named Cashel suggests the Black Ghost Knight quest. Cashel, secretly a powerful B rank adventurer, offers Kelvin a spot in his party, but Kelvin declines, after which they decide to compete to see who can defeat the Black Ghost Knight first. Cashel's party tries to ambush him, but he takes out one of them and leaves the other to Clotho before defeating Cashel and learning about Gerard, the Black Ghost Knight's tragic past. After an emotional duel, he successfully defeats Gerald and completes his quest. As Kelvin celebrates his victory, he's told by Ange that he's going to be promoted further by the guild master before running into him. Kelvin meets Leo, the guild master of Parth's Adventurers Guild, and they discuss his recent success in subduing the Black Ghost Knight and revealing Cashel's wrongdoing before Leo confronts Kelvin about his true identity as a summoner, which he admits to. Leo expresses his desire to befriend Kelvin before revealing the need for Kelvin to protect the town in place of the heroes of the Holy Empire, and Kelvin agrees, excited for the incentives Leo offers. Later, he's congratulated for reaching B rank in the guild and learns more about the heroes of Daramis from Melfina before deciding to enhance his party's strength by purchasing a unique slave, so he returns to the slave alley and buys Ethel, a half-elf with a curse which he breaks using a simple spell. Claire dresses Ethel as a maid, and they share a meal. In Kelvin's room, he discloses his secrets to her before she allocates her skill points, leading to an awkward night of sharing a bed. A month after Kelvin buys Ethel, they go inside the dark purple forest to level up and gain new skills, and later report their victory over a wicked Sagatry to Ange at the Adventurers Guild, who informs them that one more quest will qualify them for the rank up exam. Kelvin becoming rank A and Ethel rank B. Later, Colette receives a message from Melfina, instructing the heroes to exterminate evil in the western continent and stay away from Parth, so she informs the heroes of it. That night, Ethel thanks Kelvin, leading to a heartfelt conversation, and Leo offers a quest to explore the Hermit's Cave dungeon the next day, containing a powerful demon, so the group enters the dungeon and faces Archdemon Victor, unveiling Kelvin's battle junkie enthusiasm as they confront a strong enemy. In the intense battle with Archdemon Victor, Kelvin and his party put up a strong fight, damaging him significantly, and manage to sever both of his arms, forcing him to admit defeat before Victor reveals that his true purpose was to protect Syrah, whom he had to lie about eating to motivate the group. And in a flashback, and Victor's past as Syrah's caretaker is unveiled, with King Gustav sealing her away for safety. With Victor's dying wish, Syrah is released from the seal and joins Kelvin's party. Outside the dungeon, Erd is shown proof of their demon defeat, and Kelvin's party takes Syrah to Parth, where he's promoted to rank A in the Adventurers Guild, celebrating the achievement with the guild members, where Syrah, who's excited about the outside world, thinks of her time with Victor. After taming Syrah as one of his companions, Kelvin displays the weapons created by his S-rank blacksmithing and Ethel's S-ranked sewing skills, and the party sets off in search of rice. On their way to Toraj, they notice a river, and Kelvin promises to introduce her to fishing. However, their plans are interrupted when Melfina disappears, as she temporarily allows them to summon one of her avatars before going on vacation. As the group continues, they are confronted by the notorious Black Wind Gang, but Syrah takes on the bandits and easily defeats them owing to her high level. Upon reaching Toraj, they report the bandits to the local Adventurers Guild, so the guild master shares information about the Black Wind and their reemergence, and Kelvin's group attempts to locate the bandits, leading them to encounter the heroes of Daramis as the heroes and Kelvin's party cross paths at the bandit hideout, where they face off against each other. Kelvin's group faces off against the heroes of Daramis, who mistakenly accuse them of being the Black Wind Bandits as he agrees to a battle, and the heroes accept the challenge, moving to a new location for the confrontation before he reveals his plan to have the heroes testify against the real bandits if he wins. The battle begins with the heroes using their fairies' blessings. Toya and Setsuna attack Kelvin, but he defends with radiant lances and his new skill eater before copying Miyabi's skill, parallel thinking as Toya attacks him at close range. However, he holds Toya off with Sira's martial arts skill before Setsuna intervenes, and a discussion between Toya and her results in a decision to work better as a team. To finish it off, Kelvin uses his adamantine guardians and the stolen parallel thinking to turn the tide and defeat the heroes. After the battle, Toya learns about the truth and apologizes to Kelvin before the two parties agree to uphold their end of the bargain, ending the conflict. After the heroes of Daramis succeed in defeating the giant octopus with Kelvin's observations and advice, they all enjoy a picnic as Toya explains how they were summoned to this world by the priestess Colette and met Melfina, and Kelvin asks about their eagerness for an S-class dungeon before Toya admits their current weakness. Later, the heroes depart on a boat, and he gifts them pendants before Gerard and Kelvin discuss the location of the nation that destroyed his homeland and their future plans. They meet the king of Toraj, Tsubaki, who thanks them for their efforts and offers a reward before Kelvin requests access to their rice, and they enjoy a banquet with her. Days later, Tsubaki tries to persuade Kelvin to stay in Toraj, but he declines, so they receive access to the teleportation gate, after which news of their meeting with her spreads, and they purchase a house where Luca and her mother become the caretakers. That night, Melfina returns in her avatar form to Kelvin. Melfina enjoys Ethel's food, expressing her frustration in locating Kelvin before Gerard questions her identity, so she formally introduces herself. Later, in the living room, she asks to be called Mel to avoid conflict with Daramis and blesses Kelvin with the ability to prevent fatal wounds once a month and summon heroes. Sira and Mel later spar, while he contemplates the hero's whereabouts and his new summoning ability. After they're done, they discuss Kelvin's distant behavior, likely related to his hero summoning. He then decides to perform a reincarnation summon, guided by Mel, and brings forth a hero named Rio who thanks him before they both collapse from exhaustion. Later, Rio, grateful for the new world, asks to join his party as a step-sibling, and they agree to call each other Brother Kel and Rion. Kelvin wakes up to find Sira, Mel, and Rion sleeping with him. Later, he allows Rion to explore the dark purple forest with a Clotho clone and instructs Ruka and Ellie, also with Clotho clones, to level up outside a nearby dungeon while he battles in it. When Ethel reports a shadow wolf approaching, Kelvin tames it and introduces it to Luca and Rion. Erd's party arrives, asking for a promotion to B rank, and Kelvin introduces Luca and Ellie as his maids before recommending he report to Leo for the S rank promotion exam. Later, he and Rion bathe Alex, the shadow wolf, and assigns him to her as a partner. That night, Kelvin learns of assassins surrounding the mansion and uses Farsight to analyze their levels before having Rion and Alex deal with them, as they're revealed to be Tryson-associated intruders. While they handle the intruders, Tryson's Emperor Zell discusses their alliance concerns with his generals and children, and the decision resting on General Clive's vote, so they send a knight to his room where General Clive seductively asks if he's pretty. Kelvin's group rides to an elven village in the Crest Forest southwest of Gon, as Mel explains that over a decade ago, elves from the western continent migrated to the eastern one under Gon's protection. In a flashback, Guildmaster Leo discusses growing tensions between Tryson and its neighbors, Gon, Parth, and Toraj, suspecting an oncoming invasion and war, so Kelvin receives a special quest from King Leonhart Gon. Back in the present, Gerard comments on Kelvin's good fortune regarding his S-rank promotion, so he explains King Leonhart's history and the mission, protecting the elven village from an S-ranked monster tied to Tryson. Nelraz, the village's elder, apologizes for his initially rude behavior and shares the village's history, including Lumel, identified as Ethel's mother, saying that monsters are kidnapping village elves, so Kelvin's party agrees to help. That night, monsters led by a Tryson commander and soldiers approach the village under General Tristan's orders, while at another location, Mel and Rion face off against a gigant lord. General Clive, accompanied by his soldiers, confronts them and attempts to charm Ethel into becoming his slave, but Kelvin intervenes, asserting his claim on her, and a battle begins as Clive's charmed soldiers attack Kelvin before he learns that Clive is also a reincarnated individual, and reveals his own status as Ethel's stealthy retreat prompts him to create obsidian javelins. But Clive's helix barrier stops the attack. Ethel disrupts Clive's barrier, and Kelvin deploys 4 golems, but the battle intensifies, with Clive's charm enslaved soldiers fighting against Kelvin and his golems before he finally manages to damage Clive's helix barrier, leading to a permanent scar on Clive's face before he breaks Kelvin's staff, so he wields the Black Staff Disaster. The two start going at it with powerful spells, but Kelvin eventually breaks Clive's Tempest barrier and severely injures him before General Phase teleports Clive away, revealing himself as the mastermind behind the attack on the Elven village. Back at Tryson Castle, Clive is tortured as part of a cursed weapons experiment while the villagers celebrate their victory. Kelvin peacefully sits far away and tells Ethel that he'll do anything he can to protect the people he's met in this world before the others happily approach him, and an Elven girl says that she's actually Leonhart Gone, who was keeping an eye on them, and congratulates Kelvin for passing the exam and becoming an S-rank adventurer as they all happily get ready to fight people stronger than them. And there you have it, from the mysterious world of transmigration to Kelvin's quest as an overpowered adventurer. We've gone through everything in Black Summoner. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more epic adventures in anime, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned for more exciting anime recaps coming your way, and until next time, make sure to keep the spirit of adventure alive.